Hello everyone, it's Xander again with the new version of my push to user mode visual feedback for live looping. Quite a long title. As you saw hopefully from that performance, it's really cool basically, because you can have all of these clips being recorded immediately, and as soon as they're recorded, as you can see, I'll just do something here. You press the button and it will arm the track essentially and add a stop button to that track. Then you press it again and you start recording, and then you press it again and it will go the color of the track immediately. So before there was some weird thing about I had to re-trigger the clip. So now that kind of works as you would expect it to, which is really nice. And same with all these. These are all just different parts. These are blue. Right, and then you stop it with these stop buttons. So there's a stop button for each track. So it means you can just be really almost like finger drumming your loops back in, and it's just really immediate basically. So how is this being achieved? Again, it's through renaming the clips. So basically, when you record, as I'll show here, if you look up in Rec 4, this is the fourth track for my vocals. Haven't got anything there at the moment. So I press it and it adds the button and it goes red here. Sorry, it adds the stop button stroke record button when it's armed. And so this tells me, okay, I'm ready to record here. It's quite nice to have that red feedback. And then I press it and it will start recording. But do you see there, it actually changes its name while it's recording. And it's red until it's finished recording, and then when you hit it again, it will go the color of the part, right? So now this is really cool because normally with ClyphX it won't let you rename the clip. But how do you get that to happen? Well, you use a user action. So yeah, I will show you this first. This is just the kind of idea. So this is the identifier, and then you have the trigger in ClyphX, which I'm sure most of you will know, but there's a play action, and then there's a stop action. And so when you rename the clip to something like this action will get triggered when the clip's playing, and this action will get triggered when it's stopped. So if I have a color here, for instance, if I'm able to code for a color and color here, then it means it's going to be shooting off the right color when it's playing and the right color when it's stopped. Now, how do we get the color to work? Okay, well, I thought, I tried all kinds of things, right? I tried Push Hacker, which wants to keep all the clips the same color. There's no way of changing different clips to different colors. I also tried CSS, Control Surface Studio, making a script, and it was good. I mean, it's kind of, I don't really like GUIs generally, but it would have probably done almost what I wanted it to do. However, there's a really big but here, is that, and I could be wrong and someone can correct me, by the way, I'm on my piano. I switched to live mode to play some piano. And then I want to come back to my looping. And right now it's working because this is what I'm using. But if you use a CSS script, you'll find that all the colors are gone. Like all your information for where all the loops are is gone. Now that's a big deal for me. But so this is the main reason for trying to use this kind of thing in ClyphX. So how do we get the color to work? So my solution to this is basically have a MIDI clip, right? That is sending its MIDI to the output of the user port. So it's sending it to my push 2 on channel 1, which is what it uses. And basically these are all notes. These are all the notes of the push. 64 notes for 64 pads. And they're all playing at different velocities depending on what I want. And so that's what the clip action does. It essentially sends a velocity to that clip when it's playing to code for the color, the play color. So blue if it's there. And then it's also when it's stopped, it's sending another velocity to this clip. And it means that it's just refreshing all the time. It's refreshing at the same speed as this clip is looping, which is, I don't know, is that 1 beat? I'm not sure. It's pretty fast anyway. Way faster than the CSS scripts seem to refresh. They take kind of a good few minutes, I think, so, like in terms of switching from user to live. Again, if I'm wrong about any of this, please just tell me. So that's how that happened, and how we get the clip to rename while it's in the process of recording is that we just use a user action. So I should just say here that I am 2 days into writing user actions, so I could be telling fibs about everything. But essentially what I did here is I went into example actions. Hang on, you can't see that, can you? Right, and there is this thing down here called the clip action, called Xclip. And I thought, okay, this sounds actually like quite similar to what I want. Basically, this clip actually renames a clip based on what arguments you feed it. But it does it while it's recording. So it's, if you use user actions, you can actually operate on clips while they're recording, it seems. So that's good for my purposes. And so what I did, if we go to actually what my macros is saying for each of these buttons, you can kind of understand it, hopefully. I mean, it's a bit convoluted and complicated, but this is what each of the buttons on the push are doing. So push lights, clip notes. So we're sending a clip note command to the push lights channel, which I know it looks like a variable, but that variable literally just says the number for the track. Where is it? Oh yeah, push lights. So that's that track. It's calling up that track. Then it's doing a clip notes command. And this relates to the number, so the actual note number. So that will be a certain note. Push 1, I think, is 92. So it's sending it to that note, which is this far left one here. And it's sending a velocity of whatever is stored in this variable, which is rec1a color on. Now, before a track is recorded, this color is set to red. The variable is set to red. That means that when you first press it, it goes red. Why is it not red beforehand? Because this MIDI clip is already going. So in a way, this MIDI clip starts off as a kind of guide. It's just there sort of saying, put that there, put that there, put that there. But then when you first press a button, it will go red because this is set to red in variables. Then it will select the channel, the clip, sorry, number 3. Then it will add a stop, as I showed. Then it will play. So the first time you hit it, that's why it just adds the stop, because it can't play something if it doesn't have the stop. Sorry, this is so complicated. And then next time you press it, it will actually play, which means record, because the track is already armed. I already set my channels just to be armed anyway. So rec 1, if we keep on moving with this, the track will then fire this user clip, right? Because that's something that really confused me. There's no easy way to say this, so I'm just going to sort of stay with the difficulty of this. Because when you go into the example actions, you see, oh, there's this one that he uses for the examples, what Stray uses for the examples, X track, I think it is. Okay, and you think you just use that's the action, right? And that is the action for the track example. However, for the X clip, and he has said this here, you have to use it user clip and then X clip, right? What I found is that if you put a clip in here, like you would imagine you should, and it's got a space there, then it won't work. If you take out the space, then it will work. I think quite a few people have had trouble getting this command to work. So use a clip, whatever clip slot you want, and then whatever command you have. So in this case, yeah, so use a clip. That's the clip slot I want, no space. And then this is my user action. Push clip name 1. Okay, so it'll fire this user action immediately as soon as it's played, which, because it hasn't had a chance to even make the clip yet, it may not rename it at that point. But I've got another command which is essentially doing the same thing, but it's happening 1 bar after the play command is hit. So that means that's why you see it renaming as it's recording. So if that wasn't complicated enough, then what's actually going on in this user command here that's specified by push clip name 1? It is this. Okay, so come back to this. It's just a clip rename. So this whole action, all it does is rename the clip as long as the clip is not already an X trigger. So that means that this will become the name of the clip. And as you can hopefully see, remember our example with the colon action, we've got a colon here. So that then means this is going to be the stop action on the clip, and this is going to be the play action on the clip. What it does is it reassigns the variable of rec1a color on, which is currently red, okay, because it's recording. But when this is triggered, it reassigns the variable to blue. Blue is just the value for blue in the variables. It's a bit more user friendly to use these variables. Then after it's reassigned the value to blue, then it's sending this command, which is again sending the push lights track, a clip notes command, to the push 1 button, which is channel 90, number 92, note on 92, right? Velocity, it's sending this velocity of rec1a color on, which is the same value as just assigned a moment earlier. So that is essentially blue, right? On that's the whole play command. Now, when it's stopped, it's doing the same, but it is sending the velocity of whatever the rec1a color off variable, which is light blue, and that's just coded directly in the variables. So yeah, kind of complicated, and also more complicated is that, well, it's not that much more complicated, it's just added work, is that this is a one single user action, and so I'm calling that up here, but you see it's number 1, and we actually have 64 different user actions, because I don't know how to code and I'm long-winded. But look, so I've called all of these different user actions up to 64, and then we have them starting here. Okay, so that's for the first button, This is for the second button. This is for the third button. This is for the fourth button, and so on. And it's hell of a long-winded amount of code, of course. Those are for the stop buttons. But if I want to like dynamically reassign my whole set, I'm getting to the point where I'm going to be able to just, this is just really dynamic, right? So a part of the set comes and you're wanting to do loads of these scenes, more scenes, for instance, like have 7 different scenes, take this stop button away, and then so you can really almost like do 7 different chords for each part. Or and the thing is with using a script is that it's not that dynamic. Like there's different modes perhaps by hitting buttons, but I want it to be reassigned within ClyphX. And you know, if I touch this controller or if I touch this piano, then it's a different thing. Or if I fire off this clip, then it operates something differently. Like I want all those options, and this kind of system seems to be making that possible. A lot to get your head round, but yeah, let me know if anyone has any questions or thinks, wow, you could have just done that so easy by doing this. I would really, really like to hear that. Thank you.